What does brave mean to you? It can be hidden in the smallest everyday routines, and for some, it starts with simply being who you are. Your years as a kid and as a teenager are some of the toughest and most confusing parts of your life. Trying to figure out who you are can be tricky on its own, but even harder when the world has pre-existing opinions on what you should and shouldn't be. 33% of all LGBTQ youth say they have considered/attempted suicide, compared to the 7% of heterosexual identifying kids. 33%. Teens can really struggle with connection, especially those from rural communities. It's hard anywhere to find people to relate to and feel entirely themselves around, especially when you're from a town in the middle of nowhere with people who don't accept you for who you are. Unfortunately, the few and most common outlets that are catered towards the LGBTQ community online are dating apps and hookup sites. This can lead to kids getting into risky situations just to feel close to someone. They usually end up hurt or taken advantage of. It may be 2018, but there are still millions of people who struggle to wrap their minds around the wonderful spectrum of sexuality. Human beings are born with the gift to love. We can love big and small, tall and short, thin, wide, black, white, straight and gay. There's a lot to take in. We have many pre-existing conformations that put our love into this tiny box of heterosexuality. Unfortunately, that doesn't really work for everyone. It's impossible to fit everyone into that tiny box. We are exceptional, multilingual, inquisitive, analytical beings that are constantly changing, sometimes faster than we can even comprehend. Especially if you're a kid. Childhood and young adulthood is fast, complicated, and ugly, even if you're straight. Living in the city, we are lucky enough to live close to some awesome resources, like the CMHA, the 519, A Space for Change, Rainbow Health Ontario, Youthline, Gale Human Rights Trust. However, in more rural areas, there's a lot less available to you. The biggest thing that these kids need is connection. Using design, how can I connect these kids to what they really need? An app would allow for all these things to merge into one. It would build a guaranteed safe space. It could let them add photos and posts without fear of judgment or bias. Give them the ability to create and attend events near them to meet people, add friends, follow feeds, and message each other. A possible client for this project would be Youthline. LGBT Youthline is a queer, trans, two-spirit, youth-led organization that affirms and supports the experiences of youth 29 and under across Ontario. Through this app, we can link users to counselors in their area that they can guarantee have no bias towards their sexuality or identity. We can link them to Youthline services that have the ability to chat with someone at any time. We can help them build healthy and positive connections and relationships that can feed into a strong and united community. Brave will be more than just an app. It will be a place, a mindset, and a self-service. The rates of suicide and depression for these kids are among the highest in any youth group. Therefore, Brave will help promote mental health awareness, not only in others, but in themselves. Using a check-in page, users will have a reminder to self-assess, and through answering simple questions, practice mindfulness and proactive behavior, while building an awareness of their mental and emotional well-being. A website will also be paired with the app to create a blog and news source for content that is outside of the user's followers, yet will also be used highly to promote the app itself. Brave will be its own brand. It will be used vigorously throughout marketing campaigns and events to build awareness and promote positivity for this target group in the areas that really need it. Brave will teach all of us to be proud of who we are and how we can use that pride to help others. I've been very lucky and supported by my close family and friends for the majority of my life, and after seeing what some of these kids still suffer through in their communities, I will never take that for granted. This brave journey will help me take the support I have received and use it to fuel my drive to help others who are not as fortunate.